was just a little while past the Sunset Strip that found the girl.
So today we're going to tie a little variation of the lightning bug. The lightning bug in itself has about 100 different variations. This one I like to tie and fish for local streams around here, especially the Tully early and late season. This one I've done a little modification of the materials. As you can see, the legs and the tail are not pheasant tail, they are a brown antron. Just gives it a little bit different of a look. It makes these move a little bit better in the water. And then for the thorax, we've got peacock ice dub rather than peacock feathers. So let's go ahead and get started. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the 5/32 bead on here. So I like to flip it over so you can kind of get it on and just pop it up here. Thread out here. So with this one we're going to use a 6/0 uni thread black. Just like to keep it black because the thorax is a little bit darker. Normally, you know, a lot of people would use red, but I'm going to keep it black for this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our antron here off of our little board. Cut a piece off here. We're going to use the whole strand rather than, you know, splitting it in half or whatnot. So first thing we're going to do here is we're going to tie it in the back. Just want to wrap it a couple times. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to keep this on and just bring it up. Use it underneath the body here. And we're just going to bring it all the way up to behind the head because we're just going to cut this when we get to the legs. So now we're just going to trim the tail. So you just want to leave a little bit here like that. So then I'm going to tie in the rib, which is red ultra wire here in size small. And we're just going to do a couple wraps first, and then we're going to take our red holographic tinsel here in size medium, cut a little piece of that off, tie that in right behind the bead as well. This way you don't have to make so many up and backs with the thread. It really kind of slenders the body. So we're just going to kind of make a wider wrap all the way down so you're not using quite that much thread. And then you're going to go butt it down right to the antron. Bring her back up. Bring her relatively close to the back of the eye. So the last thing before we add the thorax here is we're going to do, just going to basically twist this or palmer it, if you will, around the hook all the way up to about a hook eye and a half behind the bead, and then we're going to tie it off here. So then we're going to take our ultra wire and do a little wrap here. So this ultra wire is really just adding a little tiny bit of ribbed effect, but at the same time it's making the fly a little bit stronger. So, you know, when fish eat it, the tinsel's not that strong, so you really want to, you know, reinforce it. So now we're just gonna twist our ultra wire off here. Now we have this back a little bit, so because we're gonna use this actually as the wing case or just the shell back to make it a little bit easier. So I'm gonna just wrap it just a little bit more. I'm gonna take the peacock ice dub here. It's a little out of focus, but you see that we're gonna twist it on relatively tight because you want to keep it kind of compact. Ice dub will come off and it'll become more buggy as you fish it, so you don't have to make it super buggy when you first tie it. So we're gonna make this relatively fat here, and then what I want to do is we're just gonna basically split these right down the middle and pull them over to the side. Now you do that, a lot of times they'll stick up when you are done cutting them because this doesn't have a lot to split them like you would if you had the actual pheasant tail. So I'm going to just do a little cross here and bring it down. And the same thing on this side, do a little cross and bring it down. So now it's kind of sitting more off to the side, so it's more like legs. And I'm just going to do a couple thread wraps behind the head. Bring this over top. Twist it on. Kind of get it centered if you can, and along the back, right in between both those legs. Sit you down, give it a couple wraps, and then we're just gonna trim that. And then what I want to do here is basically about the length of the bead, maybe a little bit more, so like the whole length of the thorax. Just chop each one of these off just to make these little feelers here. So you've got a little bit of leg. And the last thing we got to do here is just whip finish. So we're just going to give her a quick little whip finish. Now this guy, what I like to do is just do one quick one just to keep it on there to secure it. And then you got to be careful because the legs are kind of hanging a little bit off the front, but you don't need a lot behind this head. You know, like I said, it's going to be relatively sturdy. So just pull it tight, trim it up. So there you have a pretty quick little lightning bug. This pattern works, like I said, very well late season. Especially I like to use it in winter time. Fish this with like little zebra midge off the back of it. They really kind of key in on that brightness. So thank you very much, and I hope you guys enjoyed tying this. Thanks.
It was just a little while past the Sunset Strip that found the girl's body in an old